up, fools? It's your guy Smoke Eye coming at you. Another episode of Moto Madness Podcast. Dark Cloud Fab, custom motorcycle shop, Chicago. So this week we're gonna do what we always do. That's going to be the regular programming. So we're gonna go through some, check out the motorcycle market, do some marketplace finds, give opinions, whatnot. And then we'll go through some news and spotlight a custom build that I've found interesting. So let's get right to it. Actually, let's hold on a second and tell you about Mama Tried. Mama Tried is the February 21st and 22nd, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Rave Eagles Ballroom. And we'll be there. We're going to have a booth. We'll have, we do custom handlebars, sissy bars. We're going to have a hardtail there. We do axle plates. We do custom hardtails. Then we're going to have the Ferro Chopper there in probably a bare metal fabrication form. Nothing will be finished. Kind of just show you what we do. There'll be both of them. The hardtail we did for a Rebel. That's going to have a custom front end as well as the chopper. Tanks, fenders, front ends, hardtails, axle plates, handle, and a bunch of bars, So it's kind of what we're rolling with. It's kind of like the chopper line of parts. Some of the bars also work on, any bike. So Cafe or Scrambler or whatever you like. We kind of do focus on stainless because Chicago, it's rusty here, so stainless doesn't corrode, polishes up pretty similar to chrome. So I think if you're in a cold weather state, it's probably the way to go, or even by the ocean, things rust there. So I think it's kind of a unique niche, maybe, hopefully, that I got. So if you can, come out, check us out, and we'll be there. So, all right, let's get started. Go to Marketplace. Check this shit out. Here we go. Go with some big money. Check it out. 96 custom Fat Boy wants 15 G's or best offer. Not a big description. It says it was a Pawn Stars motorcycle built by Count Customs. Awesome machine. All right, let's take a look at these pictures. Fat Boy, I would assume means big fat tire in the back. I mean, it doesn't look all that super custom to me, but it's got some ape hangers on it. Strange picture. I mean, that kind of looks like a stock front end. Fenders look fairly stock. Looks like an interesting seat with like a little, I don't know what you call that, like a little strap onto the tank. Tank looks stock. So I don't know how custom this is, These pictures are not great. Does it look like it has some engraving or accent? It looks like there's something going on with the like headlight bezel and the bars maybe. I mean, guys call things customs, but I think you're dressing up a stock bike, I mean, I don't know what exactly they've done. I wish he would have listed more of what they did. He's got big old ape hangers on it. The exhaust is cool with the fishtail ends. Long, sweeping fender. I should show his nice footboards, I guess. Yeah, these pictures aren't super great. I would think if it was like a Counts Customs, it'd have some kind of pinstriping on it. I don't know if I should have clicked on this. Yeah, these pictures are awful. Yeah, I mean, would I buy this for 15 grand? Hell no. it doesn't. It looks like they just kind of dressed up a stock bike, man. I know Harleys bring money, and they generally not always hold their value, but it ain't for me, man. It's not custom enough, you know. It looks very stock with some bars and just dress up items that, you know, like kind of bolt on stuff. And you know, that's not really. I'm all or nothing, you know. Just leave it. I mean, I guess it's cool if you want a cruiser, but not for 15 grand. All right, let's move along. See what else we got going on. There's another Fat Boy that actually looks cooler. Beamer R7. What else we got going on? Ninja. It's kind of a light day for the custom. So let's take a look at this K1100. It's got a little video here. Just sweep around. It's wow, interesting rear suspension setup. I wonder if that's cantilevered. You know, cantilever is like where you know, the shock pushes to a certain level, but it also has a, I don't know what you call it, bracket or like a lever. Hence cantilever. Yeah. So yeah, it kind of, the shock pushes one way and then the lever kind of goes a different way, usually at a, you know, 90 degree or whatever, and then that's how it's suspended. Almost, I don't know, I guess you could do that with like a girder front end, similar. So that's cool. That's a good way to start this this custom. Let's see what he's got written down. It says custom AMG build, $12,500, 5,000 miles. As I've said before, miles not that big of a deal for me. People want to, like, it's not like a car, you know. So people want to claim like low miles, but 5,000 is not bad. I don't mind that. Like I said, I prefer more miles. I mean, to an extent, you know, if it's got 100,000 or more, then who knows what's happening. But if it's in good condition and it's got a good amount of miles, then things have been ironed out. You know, especially a custom. If you're, you know, you're doing wild stuff, and you gotta, you know, you gotta ride it to figure out what could be potential issues and things like that. So miles, I'd like to see a good amount. 5,000 is pretty good, I think. As long as it's, is it 5,000 before he did all this build, or is it 5,000 after? Because I'd prefer at least 1,000 probably after the build. One of a kind, he says, cafe style, unique design, extra lightning on the bike. I don't know what that means. One of one build, he's saying. I mean, isn't it kind of always, I guess, unless it's a production bike? BMW reliability, built with attention to detail. You want message for more details. All right, let's cruise through these pictures. These pictures are definitely so far better than the last guy. Really like that interesting rear suspension. It's cool. I've never seen something like that. I dig it. I wonder how it works, if it's actually useful or not. But he's kind of got like I don't know, like little cutouts. It's like almost looking to make it look like pressed pieces. That's kind of how the bracketry works, is looking. So it's a shaft-driven bike, boxer. The Ks, though, have like, I think they're water-cooled, so it's not like a, you know, classic BMW boxer. So a little bit different, more of a sport bike style. He's got dual disc in the front for brakes. Looks like clip-ons, which should be standard cafe stuff. Seat looks cool. The lines are nice. I think I would assume that's the stock tank, but I'm not sure. If it is, it's got a cool little like accent piece to it, and then he's got some carbon fiber, which fits the design. It's got like a, from a colorblind guy, like a darker slate gray kind of nice headlight. Um, I'd be interested to know if those are the stock forks or not. They look nice. Upside down, they probably aren't. So I don't know if the case came with like an upside down fork. So I wonder if we did a front end swap on it, or I really need to start researching this stuff because I've seen a couple of these BMW K bikes, and some have the stock suspension. This guy did obviously an upgrade. I wonder what the aftermarket is like because you can find these Ks for fairly cheap around. Most guys that want BMWs want that classic air-cooled boxer, so these bikes aren't as desirable. So I'd be interested to know what he did with the front suspension. Nice set of like rear sets here. Look to be custom. The little red accents on the seats and kind of in the calipers. He's got discs in the back. Wow. Disc brakes in the back is unique. Usually everything's all drums. I don't know if that comes stock like that. But if not, then that's a cool conversion. Looks like stock wheels. AMG. AMG is like kind of like a European aftermarket performance company. So I've never heard them do a bike before, but I guess they did. So unless he's just claiming it and it's a clone or something. Trees look nice, clean. That's a clean bike, dude. Like I said, little red accents on the seat and stuff. Lines are good in the bike. I don't know what this picture is. I guess that's the seat on a different bike. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good bike. What does he want? 12.5. I'm not sure what an AMG bike goes for. Seems a little pricey for me, but if everything's legit and he's got paperwork and everything, and it's like a professional build, then I could easily see that kind of money for this. Like I said, the Ks aren't super desirable. You can usually find them for pretty cheap, $1,000, $2,000 area. And you could do your own build, but it's a nice build. I didn't see if there was a frame hoop in the rear. Doesn't look like it. That's not something I really like. The bracketry is cool, but still like to see a frame hoop because something happened, you can rip that tail right off. So alrighty. Is there anything else we want to do? Dude, he's got another bike here, another K1100 for 12.5. I want the same guy. Huh. Check this Hardtail Chopper. Got a little video. He's got a sprinter on it. Little apes. Interesting paint, I think. It's hard to tell. Nice seat. Pretty cool. Let's see what he's got. Freshly built. Pancharo hardtail frame. Never heard of that. 100 RevTech motor. Also new to me. Baker transmission. Have heard of that. Newly built and titled. Yes, it has a title. Push button start, not for beginners. Choppers usually aren't for beginners, but no miles on it is scary to me. But let's take a look at the pictures. Doesn't look like it has much rake. Got a springer on it. I don't know what a Pancharo frame is. So everything's like, I guess, one off maybe. Seat looks okay. Springer seat too. But I don't like when he's got it raised. The front mount's like raised up. I like it just like flat onto the frame. I think it just looks nicer that way. Tank is cool. Fits. There's a little gap between the tank and the seat, which is, is fine on a chopper, but it's pretty low too, sitting low. Little ape hangers, nice little headlight. Big long fender. Open, is it open primary? Looks like it. Belt drive to chain. Cool little like chopped exhaust that comes out the side. Cylindrical oil tank. I like that. It's got disc brakes in the front with iron crosses on them on the rotor. I'm not a fan of that. Disc in the rear. Kind of like how the caliper is set up, and it's like on the bottom. I don't know if that's ideal for bleeding them. Probably not. It's definitely something I haven't seen. But yeah, I don't know about bleeding them. Might be an issue. So RevTech 100. I wonder if that's, it's got to be, I would assume, based on a Harley motor. It's got Baker transmission behind it. Tank's cool. Hard to read what it says. It's got like little swirls. It's yeah, tank paint, I don't know. It's a little confusing unless the picture's just bad. Looks like he's got an interesting cap on there. I like that. Fender actually stops right pretty much where the rear axle is. That's my go-to. That's what I feel like looks the nicest. He's got a little like canvas bags on it, or leather bags on it. Batteries under the seat, kind of exposed. I don't know. I probably would have done a better job hiding it. I feel like it'd be nicer if it was raked out a little bit more. It's a little shorty. I think at least stance-wise, I think a little rake would have been nice. A little bit more rake. Okay, we can see the paint here. It's kind of like a, I don't know, ghost flame tribal type of thing. It's got like, looks like the Harley logo. These pictures aren't great. It's like a gator looking seat. Nice little bead roll up the middle of the fender. I like that. That's cool. Tank's classic. He's got an eagle, I think. Eagle cap on it. That's the last picture. So would I buy this for 8,500? I don't think so, because I don't know enough about RevTech and the frame. I mean, he said it's titled, but he hasn't really driven it. So he just built it and then sold it, or is trying to sell it, which is also scary because God knows what could be wrong with it once you put it on the road. He's got a cool, like, what is that? Definitely interesting. Is that a mirror on the top? I like that. That's cool. It's a cool looking bike. 8500. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you don't know enough about it, if it works right. So, yeah, I don't know if I would do that. Maybe I'd do 5. Uh, and I don't know. I feel like it could use a little bit more rake. Like I said, drop the front seat mount, put it into the frame more. So, just the line looks a little bit nicer. I don't know. It just looks goofy when it's like sitting up that high. Other than that, the fender's nice, headlight's nice. I think the bars work with it. Springer's cool. I mean, this is classic chopper stuff. So, tank is cool. I like the oil tank. So it's definitely like what I like to see out of a chopper. But yeah, I feel like a little bit more rake would be just give it a cooler stance or a nicer stance, I think, and maybe more. Probably not more stability. More rake is probably less stability. But yeah, that's I think what I'll do. So cool, man. That was a cool bike. 8500. I'm not sure, but pretty cool for me. All right, we're back with motorcycle news. Um, it's currently -8 degrees out, so you're gonna have to deal with the heater in the background. I'm sorry, I apologize, but I'm not gonna freeze to death in my garage. So it is what it is. All right, we're gonna start out with this. They're calling Neo Retro electric motorcycle that may go up to 150 miles per hour. Kind of looks like Isle of Man, maybe old school land speed bike. Huge front fairing, very aerodynamic, cafe style tank, seats, regular kind of swing arm. Looks like standard kind of forks, clip-ons maybe. Little side panels. They made the electric motor resemble. Looks like, I don't know, it's a V-twin. That would be kind of weird. But they made it resemble a motorcycle engine. Yeah, I guess it's like a V. Fake V. I guess it's by a company called Compass Rose. And, okay. It's Ciulator. Pronounced see you later. So, debuted at CES, which is like a technology convention, so that's kind of strange to me. But I like the styling, very well thought out. They said it's carbon fiber with a steel tube frame, 34 horsepower, 250 pound-feet of torque. With the electric, you get that instant torque, man. It's wild. The range is around 93 miles. So I think, this is if you're going fast, but it's a city bike. It's a cruise around town bike. You're not going to go on long trips. I don't think they make an electric motorcycle that is conducive for that. So, that's kind of the way you go with these kind of bikes. So if that's all the riding you're doing, maybe this is the bike for you, and you're definitely going to stand out. But depends on what the price is. Let's check it out. And the price is $50,000. So if you want to spend 50 grand for a city bike, I wouldn't. I mean, if you got just money you want to burn, you can give them to me, and I'll build you a freaking electric bike for way cheaper than this, with the similar styling. So that's pretty goofy. I guess they're only available in South Korea right now. I don't know who in South Korea is going to spend 50 grand on this. I mean, how many of these are going to sell? Like 3? It's just the rich guys that want to be like, I got this bike. See you later. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. They need to rework that pricing. I like the styling and what the bike is, but it ain't for me, man. So I guess they got another model called the Dandelion. It's got more like a naked bike kind of looking style, Ducati-ish, but also kind of looks like a toy. So that one tops out at 93 miles per hour, same amount of range. It's only got a 6.7 horsepower motor. Oh no, it's got 62 miles of range. And that one costs $5,700, which seems more reasonable. But it definitely looks more like a toy and less thought out. So I guess they're going to just try to sell a bunch of the Dandelions and then hopefully hooks a couple fools to buy this $50,000 electric bike that has cool styling. But as a production bike, I don't think that's a great idea. But you know, everyone's got their own business model, I guess. Yeah, 50 grand is insane. I mean, I could build you a bike from scratch way less than that. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? See you later. From Compass Rose. $50,000. Electric bike. Doesn't seem that great. So, you guys tell me what you think. Let's move on to the next thing. All right, next up on the docket, $1 million Honda motorcycle. Maybe two, they say. A Honda bike that could go for $1 million. Seems, I mean, who's got this kind of money? And is it, I mean, last week we talked about Ryan Wedding, the Olympic snowboarder, you know, running drugs from Colombia to Canada. And they said he had $40 million worth of bikes, and it was like 62 bikes. So, I mean, who's buying bikes for $1 million? I don't know. I mean, I guess a sucker born every minute, right? But that's pretty wild. So let's see what they have to say about this. Said it took a while for collectible Japanese motorcycles to get any respect on the auction block. 09, they topped the $100,000 mark, and now they're thinking it's going to get even way higher than that, which seems wild to me. So, top selling bike ever at a Mecum auction is a 1915 Cyclone V-Twin. And that sold for $1.32 million. That is wild. I would think a Vincent would have been the high one, but sorry. The 1951 Vincent Black Lightning sold for $929,000. So a couple strap tank Harleys, 4-track racer, Crocker bikes, Cyclones. So way like antique style are like at the top 10 of Mecum. So why would they think a Honda would break that? They're thinking, I guess, so the auction is January 31st, so it's coming up next week. If you're interested in this, keep an eye out and take a look. So they're saying there's a Honda CB750 prototype that they think can break that Cyclone's $1.32 million record. I don't know about that, dude. Why and why? You see a CB750 everywhere. So what makes it different than any other CB750s? I just looked at one a few months ago. God, I hope it wasn't this one. So why is it so valuable? So I guess it won Best of Show 2025 Quail Motorcycle Gathering, which is, you know, when you get a bunch of guys that know a lot of history and have big money together, and they have a motorcycle show, and they decide what is valuable, I guess. So it was still trying to figure out why it's so expensive. And so they're saying it's a prototype. Past a Honda 750, yes, CB 750. We're saying it's basically the first super bike. So, you know, like a super bike is a supermoto. You know, basically like a road racing type of bike that is just has great, you know, power and handling, and is built to win races, you know, that kind of thing. You know, CB is a parallel 4. So I guess what makes it different, it has a different engine casting than, they say the first 7,000 CB 750s had a different engine casting than the rest of them. So this is like a pre-production CB 750. Like they said, it's a prototype. They said there was 4 that had been sent to Las Vegas in '69. They all had candy paint, blue, green, gold, red, and green. And then they were kind of just like shipped off everywhere. The blue-green ones sold for $148,000 in 2014, and the gold ones sold in England for $217,000. The red one was off to Wisconsin, and the green one was last heard of in France. So I guess it's, you know, it's a pre-production. There's 4 of them pre-production, different engine casting, and that's why guys pay ridiculous money for things. You know, it's the rarity. It's I don't know, it's like a showpiece. It's a trophy. It's a very, very expensive trophy that you probably will never ride. You put it in a glass case or I don't know, on a stand in the garage and call it a day. So not really my world, but to each his own. So the second one they're saying could also bring $1 million is a 6-cylinder. It's a Honda as well, RC 174 Racer. So 297 cc's, air-cooled, 6-cylinder, 4-stroke, Grand Prix racer. 7-speed gearbox, that's kind of unique. 6 carbs, got 66 horsepower at 17,000 RPM. Now this is more interesting to me, because just the wild fucking specs on it. Dual overhead cam. So 6-cylinder, 7-speed gearbox, spinning at 17,000 RPM. That's pretty cool. They said Mike Halewood rode it 7 times at Grand Prix level for 7 wins. Won every single time. They said in the German Grand Prix he lapped the entire field. That is aggressive. He also set a lap record on his first lap at the Isle of Man. So this thing is like stout, dude. Like way ahead of its time kind of thing. This seems more interesting to me than that, pre-production CB750. A lot of guys like history and they like the rarity of things, and I respect that, and I think it's cool as well. But it's just, sometimes it's a mistake, or it's, they just built one before they decided to build 5 million of them. So, or it has like a specific color or a specific set of specifications, and that stuff, I don't know, it doesn't blow my hair back, I guess. This kind of stuff where it's like they're pushing the envelope, they're, taking it to a next level, that's cool shit, man. So I guess they made 10 replicas. They're calling it an authorized continuation model, so it's not the exact bike that this guy was racing. So I don't know, why are you going to spend that much money for it? They still built a bunch more. So it's a replica bike, but one sold for $750,000 in 2006. That is insane. And it will sell a few hours later than the CB750. Mika was saying it's between $500,000 and $750,000 for a replica. I mean, it's the same bike, I guess, but not really. I guess there's been a book written about it. It's got a lot of racing history, which is pretty cool. I don't know, that's pretty unbelievable. I wonder where the original bike is. I'm trying to see. It said Halewood said that was the best bike he ever rode. He said he would have won on it, one arm tied behind his back. That's cool, dude. 6-cylinder that spins 17,000 RPMs is pretty fucking wild. Yeah, so I don't know. Check it out if you want. January 31st, Mecum Auctions, CB750, and then RC 174. Can Honda bring huge money at Mecum Auctions? I don't know what these big sharks want to spend on stuff. I mean, you got like a pre-production bike and a replica. So, I mean, if it was the original, I could see huge money for that. But a replica, I know they only made a few of them, and the technology for that time is pretty impressive. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just a cheap bastard, and I'm just gonna build crazy shit in my garage, in my shop. So, what are you gonna do? You tell me. Watch it, check it out if you want, if you're interested. It seemed pretty wild to me, interesting. Old Honda's bringing big money. I'm not a brand loyalist, so I respect all the brands, and it's cool. I like that. For a long time, Japanese bikes were kind of like, guys were like, "This stupid. This sucks." Japanese, you got some Japanese bike, So it's all fun. It's all cool. They all have like their own little technology and reliability and quirks, and I like it all, dude. So I like learning about them, learning about everything, seeing what compares to what. So I'm down with that. It's pretty cool. Cool stuff. All right, do we have, let's move on. Okay, that's, we're going to move on. All right, we're going to do our build spotlight this week. We're going to look at Robbie Palmer's Triumph Daytona 500 bobber. Looks really cool. It's from 2021. Actually, what the article, oh man, I screwed this up. The article is from my birthday, 2021. So, that's cool. Robbie Palmer built this sweet Triumph. I have not built. I don't know. Built. Yeah, built. It's probably just built. I've not built a Triumph bobber chopper, but that's definitely on my list of something to do. Last week we talked about doing Vincent Black Shadow style bike. I got a lot of parts for it already. Triumph is an option for a motor. Maybe Indian, maybe the Triumph. I don't know, one of the two probably will be in that bike. So maybe that's something, but I would. Triumph is kind of a classic chopper bobber. A lot of times Harley stuff. You don't see really any Indians that much. Mostly you see, shovel heads, knuckleheads, panheads. That's the classic chopper. But Triumph is also a part of that world. So I know there's Weems, Jared Weems. He does a lot. He's like a big Triumph guy. So I watch his stuff. He's pretty cool. He builds awesome bikes. He just took one to Moon Eyes recently. That was very cool. But let's talk about this one. What was this guy? Robbie Palmer. Triumph Daytona 500 bobber. Really cool. Man, what are these forks? Looks like maybe stock forks on it. Got kind of like I don't know, the handlebars are kind of cool, kind of unique, something you don't see. It's almost like a mini like ape, but got really like a swooping design to it. I like it. Cool little headlight. It's got like a big wheel in the front, I think. Looks that way on this picture. Nice clean hardtail, cool little axle plates. Looks like the fender cuts off right where I want it to. Sprung seat. Nice little fuel tank with little accent designs in it. Hard to see that Kickstarter. Yeah, the Kickstarter's classic. Yeah, it's just like a really clean, I think that's black. Really clean bobber, I guess you call it. So bobber, I guess, usually I'd say choppers, I'd like to see a Springer girder, some aggressive in the front end. So bobber, I feel like you can definitely stick with the, standard tubes in the front. It's a 68 Daytona 500. It's called Luna. So it was at the Bike Shed show in London. That's cool. That's definitely something on my bucket list, but we did talk about Bike Shed and expanding into some kind of, I don't know if I'm completely right, but some kind of like corporate shit, franchise type stuff. So who knows? I might just do it here, but it'd be cool to like ship a bike over and show it, kind of be at that level. I don't have that kind of money probably right now. Maybe someday. So very cool. I don't know where Robbie Palmer's from, but he's from England, so okay, that makes sense. Northampton based Robbie. He bought the Daytona 500 on eBay. Like I said, it was 68, 500, total rebuild with everything. He only built one bike prior to this, a Honda Rebel, which is something that will be at Mama Tribe. Did a hardtail and girder front end, and probably do a tank and fenders, and maybe a sissy bar, and it'll kind of just be in bare form. See kind of the stuff that I do, If you're interested, come check it out. Mama Tribe. Sell a lot of mistakes and remakes. Yeah, I definitely know that world. So the last 2 months of the build, Robbie's wife forgot what he looked like. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I spent a lot of time in the garage and the shop, so it's a labor of love. He said during the process, he learned how to weld, braze, and fabricate. Wow, very impressive, dude. I've been doing this a long time, and I still make a shit ton of mistakes. So he brazed a sheet steel oil tank. No battery. Wiring is minimal. Wiring goes through the frame tubes. Yeah, super clean. Blood Moon headlight, which is a cool headlight, dude. So it was a 1950s bicycle lamp fitted with a modern LED bulb behind brown glass reflector. Very cool. Yeah, I saw that right away. Very, very innovative design. Okay, so it's called, it's Luna, so there's a moon theme, so that's why he's got like those accents on the tank, which is, I always like that. I don't want just like a plain tank. I like little details that you don't have to go crazy with it, but little details go a long way, I think. So very cool. So you like polish the frame. He's alright. He rides it, so that's very cool, man. Riding across the Midlands, they said. So now he started on. Well, now this is like 4 years or 5 years ago. He's gonna go on to another Triumph. So respect that, man. Looking into sand casting alloy parts. Yeah, I want to start doing that as well. New ideas with aluminum. So yeah, Robbie Palmer, excellent work. It's kind of like our spotlight this week. I think you did a really nice job. It's a very clean bike, not over the top. Definitely my style. It's kind of got like a sweaty type of look at it. You never said what the wheels were. Maybe 19s. Yeah, I guess when I looked at the picture, it looked like it had a big front wheel, but they look the same. Spoked wheels. It looked like drum brakes. It's got one in the front and the back. Yeah, really cool, man. I like that bike. Handlebars are cool. Yeah, just clean. And he just taught himself how to do it, man. So that's definitely what I like to see. So, yeah, Robbie Palmer, shout out to him. I hope you're still doing it. I got to start finding more up-to-date builds, but there's always next week. So yeah, and with that said, that's it. Moto Madness Podcast, episode 2. We did it. We did some marketplace, we did some news, and we showed up a builder. Robbie Palmer. So that's kind of the formula, I think, for this. Hopefully people are kind of enjoying it. Hopefully they will enjoy it. So until next week, we're still over here at Dark Cloud Fab. We're in the process. We're heading on our way. We got like a month until Mama tried, so we're going to try to get everything together for that. And yeah, so check us out. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that shit. At Dark Cloud Fab on most of it. Check out the progress. We're always we're making tanks, we're making fenders, we're making hardtails, we're making front ends. We're doing all this crap all the time. So until next time, peace.